Why I believe the Iowa men's basketball team is done as it relates to the 24-25 season. We'll talk about that here as we kick off the month of February in just one moment. But first, want to remind everybody to hit that like button if you're here, folks. Be sure you're subscribed if you're a Hawkeye fan, not just Iowa men's basketball fans, but Iowa women's basketball and so much more right here from the Hawkeye of the Storm. But again, be sure to hit that like button on this video. Also want to thank our sponsor, Iowa Floor Covering, Tile, Carpet, and more. If you've got a tile shower in the works, give them a call. They can help you, steer you in the right direction with your project. 515-379-7000. Again, 515-379-7000. iowafloorcovering.com/DIY if you want to learn more about their Tough Cork Click Together 4.5 millimeter waterproof vinyl flooring. Again, iowafloorcovering.com/DIY. So the news that broke earlier today, just after 10 a.m., Iowa men's basketball forward Owen Freeman will miss the remainder of the season due to a hand injury and subsequent surgery. The news broke via a press release from the University of Iowa. I'm going to show you the release and we'll read through it together, and then I'll kind of give you my 2 cents as it relates to the impact of this injury. Again, I led with the expected impact from my point of view. Here is the official release from the University of Iowa. The headline: Freeman to miss remainder of 24-25 season. It states, and I quote, University of Iowa sophomore Owen Freeman will have finger surgery, right hand, on Monday and miss the remainder of the 24-25 season. It was announced by head coach Fran McCaffrey. After discussions with Owen, his family, and our medical staff, surgery is the best course of treatment in terms of proper healing and rehabilitation, said McCaffrey. We expect Owen to make a full recovery. He has the full support of his teammates and coaches during this entire process. Freeman started 19 games, averaged 16.7 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 35 total blocks in the season, shot 64% from the field. He's from Moline. He is the only Hawkeye to score in double figures in every game this season. He had 4 20-point games and a team-high 3 double-doubles. The Hawkeyes will return to action Tuesday night against a top 10 Purdue Boilermaker squad at 6 p.m. Central Time on Mediacom Court inside Carver Hawkeye Arena. So what to make of this? Well, as I said at the outset, I am not one to typically make these types of broad predictions or bold statements, and I don't really know how bold this is. I think this team's done. I mean, I really do. And I've been hesitant to jump on that tractor to this point for a couple of reasons. A, it's never over till it's over. And the numbers say, the record states, the resume says they're not that far off the bubble. Like if they could go beat Purdue and Wisconsin in these next 2 games, I think they're probably right on the bubble, maybe in at that point. But as of right now, they have no elite wins. They have no marquee victories. They're 0-5 on the road, and they've gotten slaughtered in almost every one of those games. Literally, almost every one. 4 of the 5, they've gotten slaughtered. The other was a narrow loss at Michigan. Boy, they could use that one on the resume, but they failed in that one. That was actually, second game of the season. Could have been 2-0 in Big Ten play. As it stands currently, this team sits at 4-6 in Big Ten play, 13-8 overall. They have nobody to play the 5. I mean, they have nobody to play the 5. So I'm not making excuses for Fran. This season was really not looking too hot prior to this news breaking. I know there are rumors about Owen Freeman potentially entering the portal at some point. I can neither confirm nor deny those rumors. And is this a situation where he could have played through the injury through the remainder of the season? Had he been planning on sticking around? That's possible. And I'm not saying he isn't sticking around. I'm just saying I know those rumors are out there, and how serious was this injury? Don't know. Of course, I've been speculating about Fran's future following this season for quite some time. I'll double down on those speculations, or at least the possibilities that I think are out there for changes to be made. But how are you going to be able to deal with Wisconsin size and Purdue's size? You look at their schedule, not only do they have 2 top 25 teams coming to Carver here in the next week, you got a tough road trip out east. Remember, they got throttled in their West Coast trip to USC and UCLA the last time they crossed a couple of time zones. This one, they'll cross one time zone. They got a trip to the RAC at Rutgers, at Maryland, Maryland's been playing better as of late. Rutgers is incredibly talented. They're beatable, but those are tough road games. Iowa hasn't proven they can win on the road, even against unranked teams. Then they come back home, play a couple of West Coast teams in Iowa City, Oregon, and Washington. And then at Illinois, we know how difficult that is. At Northwestern, the Hawkeyes needed a miracle 3 from Josh Dix, fadeaway 3 at the buzzer to beat that Northwestern Wildcat team back in December. They're dealing with some injuries, so it's a winnable game. Michigan State at home is going to be difficult to deal with their physicality, their size, without Freeman. And then at Nebraska, I just don't see enough wins, and they've got to get marquee victories. And unfortunately, it appears to me like the real opportunities at statement wins appear to be against these next two teams in the schedule in Wisconsin and Purdue. So you have no time, in large part, to prepare with nobody at the 5. Like Riley Mulvey's going to have to play. Yeah, he gives you size, but he gives you almost nothing offensively. Evan Bronze hasn't been playing really at all in Big Ten play. Laji Dembele has had the most disappointing season of anybody. Now, with all that being said, I hope I'm wrong. All right. I don't like to go on here and make these bold, grandiose predictions. This is just what I see. I know some people have been waiting for me to say this, and I'm sure if I'm wrong on this, people will pull out the receipt and say, you were wrong. I hope I am wrong. I hope this team somehow finds a way to make it to the NCAA tournament. I just don't think he has the horses at the forward position, at the center position, specifically at the 5. And I don't know that he did prior to this. They weren't winning with Owen Freeman, who was their leading rebounder, block guy, and scorer. So that's the latest news. Wanted to relay that to everybody. You may have heard that this morning, but cutting this video here on Monday night, February 3rd. I'll be live with Mark Rogers Tuesday, as I always am, over at Iowa football at the Voice of College Football. We'll talk about Hawkeye football and some recent commits. We'll also have post-game coverage after Iowa Purdue Tuesday night. Not yet sure on the plan there. Stay tuned for more details on whether that will be a live post-game or a recorded recap later that evening. But again, we'll keep you posted right here from the Hawkeye of the Storm. You can follow me at From the Hawkeye on X and Instagram. Again, From the Hawkeye of the Storm here on YouTube and on Facebook. We'll talk to you soon.